Whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, or these badass hard topless Broncos that some of us get to drive, it's your All-Terrain Nation. I'm your host, David Boyd, alongside my beautiful co-host, Kelly Boyd.
Hello.
What's going on, everybody? I hope everybody's having a peachy Monday. Peachy.
Wow, peachy. I should have gotten my peachy Alani. Is that what you were thinking?
No, I was thinking the peachy, what Honest sent you.
Oh, the peaches. Yes.
Millions of peaches.
I have not had a chance to jump into that.
Yes. Tonight, clearly, you know what we're going to talk about. I dropped a video on it, or I guess we dropped a video on it. Lots of responses, lots of strange responses, worried about our looks instead of the video, which to that, I say that. I guess that I'm a female now.
I guess.
But anyways, who cares?
We all knew I was fat, so I mean, there's that. So
right,
I'm not worried about that.
We both are. We're in the same gender now. So there we go.
So.
But anyways, we're going to talk about the hard top issue that is going on because you've done a lot of reading on this thing. More than when we got the initial news. We didn't have, I don't think we had the whole complete lawsuit papers.
We did not.
So, which was quite funny because Lightbright came to us and said, "Hey, you don't have all the information." And Siri joined in, but it was funny that Lightbright reached out to us and they were not happy and thought that I wasn't being fair, except for the fact that we released a video. The next day, APG released a statement, which we'll have up, and they were accusing us of, not being real fair. So I was like, it's hard to be
essentially not doing the research before we announce.
First rule of journalism. And I was like, well, first rule is you go with the story you have. So there we go. But anyways, they were very, I will say this, you guys know, I've poked at them a little bit. They've been very nice about the responses. The back and forth we had was, I'll be honest, was nicer than they could have been, especially, I wasn't friendly. Kelly, after the fact, scolded me for not being so friendly.
I was kicking him under the chair for him not being as nice as he should be.
That's right. And she's not kicked me yet, though I do have a knife in my hand.
Yeah, but I've been given fair rein to rein him back in if I feel like he's going too far.
Yes. And but in all honesty, we went with the story we had at the time. Things, I won't say have changed. We got the other side story. There's a couple things about the other side. They've been in multiple lawsuits. So if you're just from outsiders looking in, who, we were involved in it slightly because we had ordered a hard top.
Yes.
So we'll take that with a grain of salt right now. But if you look at both parties, one has had to clear up multiple lawsuits. I don't think the other has.
But we don't know that for sure. And that's the thing is Dave and I kind of talked about this a little bit after the fact, is that anybody who's watching our channel has to understand that these are our opinions.
Yes.
We're not like, we are looking at something and we will tell you first, this is our opinion and how it is. So just so you know, we're going to do our best to make our interpretation of what we see and how we feel and things like that. And we're going to do our best to give you that. And you all know that. So just wanted to put that out there, that these are our opinions. Obviously, we are not stating as fact, but how we feel about whatever's happening.
Yes. But either way, there's a lot of people, the little people like we are in the whole situation. We were very fortunate. My spidey senses just tingled, and not that I would have never suspected it is where it's at now. But after multiple missed deadlines, I was in contact with Advance. I will say in emails, they've been very, I won't say they were forward about, hey, we're not going to make the deadlines.
Yeah.
They didn't go into, here's how my business is being run. And I think that's a lot of the comments I've seen from this so far have been very unfair to, we'll say both parties, because people have already drawn a line.
Yep.
If you've got money involved with it and you gave your money to Advance, I can see why you would be pissed and why you've drawn a line and going, well, my camp's over here now. 100% get that. But I will say the dealings we've had with Advance Fiberglass were very fair. They did poke fun at the Ford. When I told them, I was like, hey, we want a refund, I'm just going to go ahead and buy a Ford top. Ford emailed me and they did poke fun and be like, what do you think Ford can get you one? And and when do you think you'll see it, next year? And I was like, no, probably 3 weeks. And sure enough, 3 weeks.
And it showed up in 3 weeks.
We had a hard top. And I'll be honest, it was a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
By what, $1,500, I think?
Something like that, I think.
But that being said, tonight, I want you guys, if you've been effed over by either party, let us know about it, constructively, because we can't change the world if we just say, fuck the world. You just can't change the world that way. But I do want to help be a place to help make change. And that's a big thing for us. I've often told you guys, I do not like putting my brand on with turds. And, you know, at some point I bragged about when we ordered the hardtop last November. I was very excited for it because I still think whoever designed the freaking thing, because that's another battle they're fighting over now. I don't care who designed it. I think that is the best design out there, hands down. Now, can they manufacture the damn things? It doesn't seem like it.
On a large scale.
Well,
because honestly, we've seen, and we'll talk about that tonight. We've seen a few of them on Broncos, on websites and things like that. But is it scalable?
Yeah.
Like, is it, you know, early on, we know that the videos that were being put out of like, here's how you're going to install your hardtop. We actually talked about that, right? Was that the one this is the hardtop we talked about where you had to do your partial installation yourself, right?
Which you were like, what?
Yeah. So early on, when the videos started coming out of all of the things that you had to put on yourself that showed up, that was almost a deal breaker for me at that point, because I know that no matter, I'm going to overthink it. Like, I guess this is the perfect shirt for me to wear tonight, because
me too.
Truth, and this was not planned is what's funny about it, but you know, no matter how perfect you think you're going to make it, you're not going to do it as well as the manufacturer that does it on a high number basis that's going to put it in the right spot. And I just know that we would have had leaks or something else by us putting it on, even no matter how much we try.
Yes, no, the whole assemble, like at least put the damn you know, they showed them in their videos that Advance had. They're not there now, but they showed how you had to put the seals and stuff on that. That's stuff you can do you should be doing for the customer, and not because I think you even brought it up. There's going to be customers mess that up.
100%. Because we know that there's been other things that we've done that we've put on, and guess what? Oops. Like, but they weren't an almost $7,000 hardtop that you're trying to put on your vehicle. So there was definitely some things that we were kind of iffy about when coming in.
So some of the things, to be fair, I want Kelly, we're going to bring up the APG, their statement, to be fair, because we've already done, I was going to do a video on this, and I thought, we got the live stream coming up. I can clip this out if I need to make a separate video to appease, you know, the Light Brights and all them out there to, you know, so we're fair and balanced, and which, you know, once again, I like to be. It wasn't when I broke this news, or I didn't break it, I guess it was out there and I did a story on it. I wasn't trying to go out there and choose a side. I went with what we had at the time. Now, if I'd have waited another day or so, but for us, what we do, we like to cover these things. And if, you know, you're not first, you're last, unfortunately, in this situation. And this is what we do. We cover, especially with the Bronco. We've covered the Bronco probably more than anybody out there. And I don't mean just like did a couple videos. Like, we've covered the damn thing. Hell, I'm going to the Stampede this weekend. I will not make money I will lose money on this video. I guarantee you I will lose money on this video, but we do it because we like this community. So when I say, hey, we've covered this thing a lot, we've done it and lost lots of money doing it, because the Bronco videos don't do anything anymore. But you love the Bronco. I love the Bronco. We're out cruising with the doors off today, enjoying it. The Tennessee weather right now
is perfect.
Yeah. Chef's kiss, man, because it is perfect.
Man, we didn't plan that.
I know.
Must be in sync.
We must be married.
Maybe.
Anyways, but like I was going to say earlier, when I feel bad because we did those videos after November, excited about it, and somebody goes, well, you were one of the comments was, well, you were fussing, telling people to be careful, and then you went in and got one. Yeah, a year later, I went in because before I ordered it, I had conversations with Advanced Fiberglass of like, hey, are you guys close to being there? And he's yes. And he goes, we were hoping to deliver at the time. I think it was December. And part of I said, hey, I would like to get a top from you because I would like to showcase it at Supercell East. I said, I gave him, I think it was a month out. I was like, I have to have it a month out because there's some assembly required.
Yeah.
And I laid it out there to, I believe it was John over there. And he was like, we can do it. You know, we'll put you, I hate to say in the VIP order group, because I don't know what the hell that means, but he's like, I'm going to try to make sure that you'll get one of the early
first.
tops.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. You know, I guess that's kind of a perk of what we do.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, we're able to get things before others.
We still paid full price.
Yes. Yes. And that was also in my email to them. I was like, I don't want discounts.
Mm-hmm.
I want to purchase the top like everybody else does. I said, but here's my deadline.
Yep.
Cool. We'll do that. And then once again, they missed the deadline. They didn't email me telling me that. I had to go. I will say I had to go after them about, hey, you know, I'm coming up on this timeline. He goes, give me a couple weeks or whatever. I did. Didn't happen. And I said, hey, we'd like a refund. So that's our story.
And we're going to get into the other side of it, but you know, having read parts of the lawsuit, he probably was thinking that he was going to have product to ship. So,
yes. But
you
before
know,
we
based upon that,
I want to, because we're going to choose this, or it's going to seem like we're choosing a side already. I want to bring this up, and Kelly's going to give you a little bit of the other side because it is fair. Now, whether my opinion is one thing or the other, it is fair to offer what we think is going on. Now, this is from, as you can see here, this is their letterhead. Kelly, I'll let you have it now.
Yep. And this was sent to us.
So this was August 7th.
So on August 7th, Advanced Fiberglass Concept, ADV, formerly known as Glassworks Unlimited, unleashed a series of premeditated publications in written and video formats, which unjustifiably attack and blame APG for the inability to deliver promises made or refunds of deposits taken for their own customers. APG cannot be blamed for the decision that ADV made to accept
a lot of three-letter acronyms here.
ADV made to accept customer pre-orders and deposits for a product that was still in development by manufacturer APG. To be clear, APG never required or requested that ADV market and accept pre-orders of the Bronco hardtop products.
So let's stop right there.
Can I finish that sentence?
Okay, go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
That decision was made by ADV and ADV alone.
Okay.
Now,
as a small business, I don't know. I've never been to ADV or any of these A companies. I only go to B companies. But I've not seen. From what I've seen on the outside of their videos, they look like they have a fairly nice. You know, I wouldn't say this is some huge company, some big conglomerate making a lot of. You know, they do the fenders, right. And for people to go, oh, they scammed us. Of course, I put on the thumbnails scam, little clickbait, but. Maybe in your opinion, it was a scam, but they're still delivering product. You know, it wasn't my concern early on was fly by night companies who make one thing, they big promises, they look good, and then you never see it again. They're still making fenders and stuff for multiple brands. It's not like they just decided to, you know, like, oh, cool, big payday. But you know, it is what it is. Kelly's getting all kinds of phone calls tonight, but ultimately, you know, PG is going to have their kind of opinion on this. And like I said, that is a good point to they're saying, to be clear, we never requested they accept pre-orders. We'll find out when the shit hits the fan with the lawsuit. Who I from what we saw of the other company, they seem to have their lawsuit. They had a timeline laid out and they had a lot of things laid out. I would be, if they countersue, I would be interested to see the counter lawsuit on this, but I'll let you go ahead.
Depending upon how much money was required to be put out, I don't know how you wouldn't do it without pre-orders.
Yes, because to make this is a brand new process. Yeah. They had, and I think why they went to China. A lot of people were pissed they went to China. From what I could tell, the lawsuit, ADV wanted to make the tops on their own. And it seems like maybe this other company is like, look, we can do it a lot cheaper in China. I know people. I
don't know. I know they said they didn't have the capacity to do it.
Okay.
Is what it actually said. They don't have the ability or capacity, I think, is what was kind of listed. So to pick up where we left off, ADV is not the designer or manufacturer. Okay. So they're not the designer of it either. Of hardtop products that is apparently pre-sold to thousands of its customers. Rather, ADV was granted distribution rights for the hardtop products in anticipation of those products being designed, developed, manufactured, and brought to market. ADV is just a distributor and nothing more. In fact, the lawsuit filed by ADV contains a copy of the distribution agreement between APG and ADV. There are a few key elements that are contractual relationship.
Right. And it says, I will say this, I do remember ADV. Now I'm not the court of law. I'm just what I remember from this in 2022 was ADV had a lot of CAD files they were showing. Were those theirs? Were they not? Who knows? And yes, at the time, maybe APG did design this or whatever. But from what we've read of the lawsuit, wasn't it a 50-50 partnership on this, something like that?
From what I read in the article in the thing.
But and we also did read in the lawsuit that there was a requirement. There was a $300,000 down payment to get the process started, or something to that. So, which means they had to come up with a lot of money. So I can understand why. What we see, where you have an idea, what's the website in
copyright?
No, and you get people to back you.
Oh, Kickstarter.
Yeah, Kickstarter. So it kind of is like a Kickstarter.
But the difference between a Kickstarter and this is that Kickstarter, if you don't make your quota, you have to give all the money back.
Sure.
That people do.
Sure.
But if you do hit your quota, you do have to provide the product.
Yes.
So there's that under Kickstarter.
Right.
So this is interesting because it says APG is the manufacturer while ADV is the distributor. So manufacturer tells me that you make it, right?
Right.
Or am I reading that wrong?
Right.
So, but APG is saying, wait, I'm confusing the letters.
Yes. So APG is the one that said that let's go build it in China. ADV is the people who were selling the top.
Who sold it.
Yes.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Sorry. See how these letters are screwing me up?
Yes.
Okay. So APG owns all intellectual property rights for the hardtop products, including patents. ADV does not have any ownership interest in those rights by virtue of its role as a distributor. ADV agreed that all advertising and promotion of the products would be completely factual and conform to the highest standards of lawful and ethical advertising. Not sure what was unethical of the advertising that we had seen.
Yeah.
Because it was all about pre-orders. It was all, hey, this is still in production, things like that. So I'm not really sure. Not trying to pick sides, folks. I'm just trying to understand through the letters of everything. ADV agreed to adhere to the highest reasonable standards of business behavior, honest integrity, fair dealing, and ethical conduct in all dealings when its customer or with its customers and APG. The recent publications and lawsuit filed by ADV is an obvious attempt to shift its customers' focus from itself to APG. The agreements between APG and ADV did not require pre-orders to ADV customers. The agreement may not have required it, just saying. The agreements between APG and ADV did not require pre-orders to ADV's customers. In fact, APG reserved the right and always intended to sell the hardtop products direct to its own customers, but only when the product is ready for immediate sale and delivery.
So let's right there. Do you think that if we're partners in a business and you see me going out there pre-selling, don't you think you might raise some red flags 2 years ago on this and be like, hey, you would have thought as a business, they would have been like,
and
hey,
maybe they did.
I've been tracking these for a long time.
No, I'm saying maybe behind the scenes they did.
No, but I think publicly, if you were like, these guys aren't being very ethical and forthcoming to their customers, you might hold your hand up and be like, hey guys, let's stop it before you start taking in what I think it was almost $8 million that they took in.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Playing devil's advocate. If this top were to take off and be successful, the last thing I would want to do is sully the name of the other group that I'm working with, and maybe it's just kind of happy.
Well, but the problem is, let's be honest, hard tops, you're not selling thousands of hard tops. I'm going to be honest.
I say thousands of customers.
Well, initially because Ford couldn't bring the hard top to customers, on their own. So yes, initially, yes, they're going to sell several thousand of this. But this is not a product over time that's going to be popular. I'll be honest, because I've bought hard tops for like my Isuzu Amigo and Jeeps and stuff after the fact. Guess what? There's not people beating down their doors for this product. So yes, for Bronco initially, because of Ford's issue, which, we'll be honest, I'm not throwing Ford under the bus onto this, but Ford created this vacuum of like people wanting hard tops
because it was a supply and demand situation,
which is once again, there's so much to this story. There's COVID involved in this. Even in 22, these are both California companies. California was a shithole of still, you couldn't do this. You can't do this.
Restrictions.
So what a mess ultimately the whole deal is, but I'll let you go ahead.
Despite many customers requesting pre-order rights from APG, we made the responsible decision not to accept pre-orders or customer deposits. This project has involved 2+ years of development, thousands of engineering hours, millions of dollars, which we know from the lawsuit, millions of dollars, and an international supply chain, which has been cultivated over years of experience in the specialized manufacturing field. We did not set out to make a quick and cheap fiberglass roof with an aftermarket design strategy as others did. We set out to do what we always do, manufacture the highest quality product possible, and that takes time.
Well, so right there, they're definitely responsible for shipping this stuff to China.
Yeah.
So I don't, and there's some good Chinese products out there, but I think super high quality. I don't think Chinese products generally. So like they're a little bit of talking out of both sides of their mouth a little bit. Like, hey, this wasn't us. We do great work. Well, if you do such great work, why did you not put the brakes on a simple, easy lawsuit could have put the brakes on this a year ago?
Probably.
And APG is
like
just
a cease and desist,
yes,
essentially.
APG saw how many, maybe if this distribution deal is right, they saw how many orders they were taking in. Trust me, they know how many orders because they had to go to China, whatever. So they saw this and it was like, why would we shut this down?
That's what I'm telling you.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like I feel both parties are 50-50 responsible in this whole thing. I don't think that, I think one company was being a little naive, allowing lots of money to go to another company because APG did get a lot of money. It's very well documented. ADV, even if ADV was just buying these tops from them, they sure gave them a lot of money. And when a big check got cashed, a week later, what happened?
Lawsuit was settled.
A lawsuit was settled. So
now again, this is in the court documentation.
Yes.
So it's not that we are saying this as hearsay or anything else. This was in the actual lawsuit filed.
And it's just a lawsuit
in California.
Just a lawsuit
Correct.
that you can put anything you want in a lawsuit.
Correct. You can, but you also have to have proof. Correct me if I'm wrong, those that are lawyers or legal folks, but my common knowledge, understanding is you can't just put anything willy-nilly.
Well, yeah, because you can
because it's got to be proven that it's legit.
Yeah, in the courts, if you're just fraudulent lawsuits, they will come at you.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so to finish this one out,
all right.
When APG sets out to design and manufacture a product, we do not rush market, and we certainly do not accept individual orders for a product that is still in development. ADV made the business decision to accept pre-orders with full knowledge of the status and development. Any delivery estimates provided to ADV have been estimates and nothing more. ADV knew that all major products can have setbacks and delays. Frankly, it's to be expected. APG was never informed on how many pre-orders ADV accepted. To our complete and utter surprise, John Guratowski recently told APG that they pre-sold approximately 1,250 hardtops at an average retail price of $6,800 of cost, tax, shipping, all options, etc. That math calculates to $8.5 million. The real question everyone should be asking is, what did ADV do with the money? We at APG have no idea how the money was spent by ADV and its principals, but we will save that for litigation.
I'm sure we
will. Lawsuit filed by ADV is a transparent attempt at damage control by a distributor who needs to face its own customers for its irresponsible business decisions. APG will not accept blame for ADV's actions and allow ADV to continue its charade of falsehoods. We categorically deny and reject each and every claim made by ADV and will uphold our reputation as we reprove their wrongdoing in court. While we are sympathetic to the customers of ADV, we will not break from APG's dignity and ethics. I'm sorry. We're just going to have to keep rolling because I can't even respond to that one right now. We will continue to manufacture the finest 6th generation Ford Bronco products in the world and will announce the availability of hardtop products when we know for certain that we can accept, fill, and deliver our customers' orders.
So here's the thing. If this isn't a lawsuit now, there ain't nobody making a top. There's
not this one.
There's no way that APG is going to make a top because guess what? The courts are going to stop everything. They're going to be like, till we figure this out. And if APG was smart, they don't want to build tops because they don't want to, if they're supposedly think ADV was doing wrong, now they don't want to get caught into doing wrong. Right. But guess what? What we saw of the lawsuit, once again, the lawsuits are just piece of paper typed in it till a court of law says this is factual or whatever. We don't know. But from what we saw in that lawsuit, it looks like ADV has a lot of receipts.
Yes.
And if they are running, which they seem to be, a legitimate business, because lots of vendors out there, and not just for Bronco, for a lot of different companies, they don't just write checks, or I'm assuming they don't just write checks.
Yeah.
They just don't go anywhere. You got taxes, you got a lot of things to pay for.
You've got a lot of proof to proof.
Right. And $8 million plus, that's pretty crazy. Now, I know Kelly's looking for something because she's in some of this, because I'm assuming you're going to some of the receipts that they're talking about. Because that is pretty, I think, now they don't show actual copies of receipts. I'm sure when this goes to court, they're going to have
not literal.
Yeah. They're going to have their,
it's what the cool kids call receipts.
Yeah. But they're going to have, all theirs. And I can't imagine any lawyers love taking, they hope honestly, probably a lawyer's thinking we'll settle out of court.
Yeah.
But guess what? There's still multiple, 1,250 people roughly. 1,249 because we pulled out. So I imagine that number's been exaggerated slightly, because I know there was a lot of people on Bronco 6G that were talking about getting their money back. A lot of people talked about getting their money back early on. So I have a feeling that number is very exaggerated.
Yeah.
So that 8 million is probably more 6, somewhere in there, maybe. And I'm just throwing numbers out, by the way. Don't math the math. We're just two silly people talking about this, which I find very interesting. And once again, we were slightly involved because we ordered one of these damn tops, and my spidey sense went up that once we weren't going to get it. When I cut bait, it wasn't because I was like, well, this company's about to screw everybody. I was like, I need it. It's just not working out for me. Damn, because I, once again, still think it's one of the best designs that I've seen. I haven't seen it in person. But they were shipping tops out. So old Mitchell Watts got one, and he got one almost a year ago. So, and it was a one piece, if I remember right. He put on his Bronco that I think he sold. And I know Mitchell privately, he gave some feedback to him, I think, which is what they wanted. They wanted to ship it across country, where our hands are off. We need feedback.
See it how it shipped.
How does this work? So clearly there was some good faith, I would say, to that, because I would think Mitchell seems like everything we dealt with him, salt of the earth guy. If his spidey sense kicked up, I have a feeling he would have been, I don't know that he would have been public about it, because you don't want to tarnish your own brand. But I think if people just said, hey, where's that top? What's going on with that? Then I think he would be like, hey, it just didn't work out. I'm not speaking for him. These are my words, not Mitchell's. I'm sure if push comes to shove, Mitchell would have, words to say about it, but it is what it is. Now, Kelly's got she's got some numbers out here, which, there's invoice numbers to these things. Now you can make these things up. Once again, we don't know that these are official,
or that they were ever paid.
Yes. Official anything. I like to speculate that. And I want your opinion. Pardon me. I want y'all's opinions, and I'm going to go through this, and I want to talk about this, and I want you guys to voice your opinion in just a second. But ADV, legit company, right? We can't say they're not a legit company. APG seems like a legit company, right? They have accountants. They have there's tracking of these things.
There's
right?
processes that those accountants, if they don't do ethical things, here we go back to the ethics.
Yes.
I just feel like you've got too many parties involved that are going to be held accountable with these receipts that we're talking about, that I don't know that you've got all these people that are doing unethical things. You know what I mean? Like with all these parties in, like, you can say this company is unethical and this company is unethical, but if you have another group of people in there that are doing all the things, well, I don't know. It's
not like some fly-by-night roofing company that comes through after a storm, or you know what I mean?
Right.
Like that you don't really know, but you trust the insurance wrote them a check and they never show up.
Yeah, CPAs, things like that. We have a friend who is a CPA, and she is our go-to when we go and ask questions, because we want to make sure we do the right thing when we do all of our things. So she hold us a little bit accountable.
Bryce is like, I just want to talk Bronco.
will.
Sorry, man. I'm coming at this hard tonight because of Light Bright came at us and was like, hey, you need to get your story right. And I'm not going to show you the direct messages because that wouldn't be responsible on my part. I'm sure they would never do that on their part. But, you know, they had a point of like, maybe you should talk about the other side. We're doing it now.
Yep.
So anyway, so that's why I'm kind of coming at this hard. I was aggravated by that a little bit. They did what they thought was right. They're protecting maybe a friend. I don't know. So they're, you know.
And honestly, if someone that we thought had done the right thing had been wronged and somebody else was blasting, we might have gone out. Not that we have that many followers.
All right. So Kelly's got these numbers up.
Anyway,
here.
So over the course, and now this is just a snippet of everything in there. So this is just a snippet of what the actual lawsuit is out here. Now, I did not go out to the source of California and pull this lawsuit.
No, but the name's right there.
But it's all over there, and it has a stamp at the very top.
Right. Here is.
If you're going to make me lose my stuff.
I'm sorry, but if you want to know, there is the lawyers.
And at the very top, you know what, we'll just, since you've ruined it now, electronically filed. So you've got all this stuff that's at the top. If you want to go look it up, you are welcome to do so. But just so you know, this is kind of where all this came from. So I think I was in page 6-ish. 7, apparently. Hold on, guys. See, ruined it all right here.
I do. It's what I do.
Okay. So again, this is a snippet. If you want to see the whole thing, I can put a link in.
If you want to read this, I'll throw the link in the drive.
Yeah. So over the course of approximately 2 years from February 2022 through March 2024, plaintiff, who is APG, paid the defendants ADV, right? No. The other way around. Dang it, these letters.
I know. Could we find different names for this?
Okay, so advanced.
Yeah, there we go.
Advanced Fiberglass, okay, is the plaintiff here. The defendant is APG, okay? So when you see this invoice, APG sent it in and ADV paid it, okay? So APG invoice 1505. We don't know what this is for. We just know that these invoices were sent.
Could be poker debts. Who knows?
325 or 326,500,
which was, I think, in the lawsuit was what the amount was. They were both supposed to kick in evenly.
Yeah, in the
to
initial
get the process going.
Exactly. In the initial, it was going to be 50-50 split, all the things, right? So they contributed nearly $4.4 million based on these invoices. Okay, so 326,500, 68,566 and 18 cents. Couldn't round it up, right? We just had to go all the way down to those 18 cents.
Sure.
8/31 of 22, $238,000. 8/31 of 2022, another one for $502,000, $248.63. Another one in February of 23, $251, $251,124.32. 10/20 of 22, $1,000,000. I can't even get the number right. $1.140 million. We're just going to call it that. $570,000, $54,000, $50,000.
There's a purchase order for washer assemblies, wiper assemblies.
So, I mean, you've got things that are actually in here. 12 air freight tops, useless tops, it says. $50,000, $14,619. Another one for $339,000. $250,000, $55,000. New tooling charges, $509,000.
Which part of the tooling in the lawsuit was APG contacted their in the lawsuit, their secure guy, their guy they dealt with, and suddenly he went out of business. And they had to go find a new person, which I think was in the lawsuit where the $500,000 for new tooling came from.
Yeah. So almost $4.4 million.
Yes.
So there's a lot more in here. Take the time to read it. I actually did read it because I'm a nerd like that. And it's just there's a lot of information. Yes, granted, you can put anything in a lawsuit, but at the end of the day, it's going to come out with whatever happens in the courts.
Yes.
But as we all know, the social courts do exist a little bit too.
Sure. And that's the biggest thing about this is I want to show this real quick. Both parties, they're hiding from things, except for the fact that they're not hiding from it, because there's one of them freaking tops. And if you look, you go to Automotive Performance Group, they have these tops all over their Broncos. Interesting that they can't seem to manufacture a top, but they're on these things. So by them putting them on there, all these Broncos they build look amazing. Don't get me wrong, they look freaking rad. But it's weird that all their, I mean, and that's a one-piece top. You can see it's a one-piece top up there. But you can see the slant back to it. Definitely. I'm assuming one of those tops. We have to say assuming because we didn't put that top on there. We didn't unpackage it, but looks like they're sure proud of showcasing these things. So if you're that proud of it, and I've not seen them, maybe they were bragging about, hey, we designed this top. I never saw anything personally of them talking about anything about this top till now, till this lawsuit came out. But so they have it there. And then if we go over to, let me pull it back, the other page up.
Gene says ADV has a lawsuit against APG over tops. I'm so confused. Yes. So long story short, ADV has been marketing tops to be sold that APG
was supposedly
manufacturing.
Except it comes to find out in the lawsuit, they were just a middle person.
Yes.
They were just probably in a prime spot. If you're the middle guy and you really have nothing in this, what a prime spot.
Facilitating.
What a great thing, because you're going to make some profit off something. Clearly, somebody threw a bunch of money at this. So, but here's Advanced Fiberglass, though. You cannot find that top on their website anymore, but you can sure find them on
their vehicles,
on their Broncos. So definitely there's the slant back top there. Definitely there is his slant back top there. So in that lawsuit, it definitely says that, unusable tops. I don't know if these are the unusable tops that were just for photos. I do know Advanced,
which is very possible when you're manufacturing.
I do know Advanced Fiberglass had people testing these tops in the California, Vegas area. There was multiple tops being tested. And there was a person, I don't remember the person's name, was bragging about, hey, we've taken this tops out to Johnson Valley. We're beating the piss out of this Bronco to make sure the top does what it's supposed to. So they were definitely getting tested. So I just go back to Kelly. I personally, I'm being swayed more that Advance was naive. I said this in the video. I think they were very naive. I don't deal with $8 million or whatever it was, $4 million to order something at a time. So I don't understand.
Nor will we ever.
Yes. I don't understand that how you would 300,000. Somebody sounds like kept requesting more and more money, kind of nickel and diming a little bit. I don't understand how a red flag for me personally wouldn't have went up and been like, what the F is going on here? But once again, these people might have known each other for a while too. It could have been where just great friendships, sometimes money corrupts things. Could be. I don't know. What else you got here?
I want to see if I can find a part in here so you keep talking to the folks.
Whiskey's good tonight. And I sorry, Mondays comes so hard across here, but I know so many people that are, I don't know it to sue. So they're suing, but guess what? There's going to be
a countersuit.
There's going to be a countersuit. Plus there's going to be, all these people are going to get together and they're going to have to sue Advance to get some sort of repayment, right?
Well, and I foresee at the very least APG filing suit for defamation of character.
Yes. Oh, 100%.
At the very least, that would be something that I would see. And I only know these words because I watch ID channel. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
You're listening to ID channel advice here. But at some point, what do you call it? Lawsuit when everybody gets together and
it's a class action.
Class action. There's definitely going to be that, and both companies, the way it sounds, probably deserve to be bankrupted.
Wow, and that's a big.
Well, why I say that is because
that's a big claim,
whether
sir.
ADV in good faith was doing business with the other company they're still liable. They took in all the money. Now, clearly, they're showing they paid monies out to build this.
This might be where I say you're going too far.
Okay, but my point is, I think why they'll be bankrupted is because at some point a court's going to rule on this. If I were to guess, from what we've seen in this lawsuit, it leads me to believe that the manufacturer is going to get effed over a little bit in here, whether they deserve it or not. That's just from reading this. Now, I will love to read the other version of this. Would love to read that. So at some point, though, this class action is going after Advance. they're going to bankrupt Advance. But if this is even close to being true, this lawsuit is going to bankrupt APG, because then ADV is going to go after them for, you've tarnished our name, you've ruined our business by your ethics, whatever companies who was writing that. And I think at the end, both parties are down. And then I think people get pennies on the dollar that they got back out of it, because they'll auction these companies' tooling off. You know what's going to happen if they do bankrupt them? They have to auction everything off.
Well, and before we jump into this product, I want to say this before I forget, that there was mention in the video announcement to all of the folks that had put money in on hardtop or whatever, contact your credit card companies for refunds. Most credit card companies, you can only dispute a charge within 3 to 6 months.
120 days or something like that.
Yeah. So a lot of people are screwed. So unless there is that class action lawsuit, or maybe there's another way that can be done, or there's an exception with the credit card company or things like that, a lot of people are going to be out the money because the credit card has that stop in there. So that,
yes, Andy, I maybe deserved, I guess, is harsh words, but they will be bankrupt.
Yes. Thank you, producer Andy,
as you know,
for putting him in line.
Andy Ackerman is the behind the scenes producer of the show.
Yes. So one thing I wanted to talk, and I'm sure you all are thinking, what is this 300,000 you guys keep talking about? Okay, so this is also in the lawsuit. It's one of the first pages, or it's actually the first page.
We starting to be there?
No, we are starting right here.
Okay.
So this is that 300,000 that we keep referencing. So, Gmail is APG. Gerwitowski's are
even the last names are complicated.
Yes. So
God.
That they would only have to invest $300,000 to make this all happen. Okay. So that's the 300,000 that we keep referencing of like, man, if I was told 300,000 that we can make this and make all this money, and we're going to split the costs and we're going to do all this stuff and all this. And
he made it a little too good to be true, because next line down, he represented that he could supply the hard tops for $1,000 per unit. Now, this is what they're saying.
Yes.
Till we get, if it's in writing, that would be great for ADV. But I know a lot of people read that and were pissed off.
Oh, like, yeah, because you paid $7,000.
Why are you making $7,000? But let's be honest, per unit, that means they're going to ship them in containers. So they're shoving as many of them damn things in a container as they can get.
So there's actually I think there
was a container thing in
26 hard tops would fit in one freight.
Okay. So, and then they're both California companies, so shipping to them is going to be not as expensive as probably they're going to ship the whole container there. They unload it, they open the boxes, make sure everything's right quality wise, then they ship them to customers. So there's still even that $1,000 per unit. I know a lot of people are really pissed off about that, but let's see, that's saying supply. That's not to your doorstep. So I would say there's definitely at least $500 or $600 probably at minimum on top of that. And guess what? If Advanced had to pay manufacturing fees, there's probably a royalty or something on top of that for per top.
And there's also a patent. There's so much money goes into processing a patent. That's why you don't see a lot of mom and pop people that are making these great products, and then somebody comes in and swoops over and takes them over. China makes them instead, because they don't have the money to necessarily get that patent.
Guess who, if China's gotten hold of this, guess who is really going to, both companies are really screwed, because guess what? Chinese manufacturing don't give a F about your patents here in America. They don't. I've known too many companies that have gotten their products ripped off, and they go to China and there's nothing they can do about it. Like, if they want to spend millions and millions of dollars, yes. But at the end of the day, the product's not worth that investment. So they just have to cut losses. Our friends over at Mountains to Metal, first to come out with the little door basket.
Yep.
They know for a fact some got shipped to China, and suddenly
we're copied.
Yeah. And suddenly, now they're every Send It person that is out there has a ripped off version, a Chinese ripped off version out there. And good for them doing business. You want to do business, I get it. It's a cheap product. But this, I'm telling you, these tops, even though they know that nobody can sell these, I've got a patent on it. Guess what? China don't give a damn.
Thanks, Steve P. Hopefully we won't have any legal fees to have to deal with. But
Right.
we're
Just reading news.
These are just opinions, man.
Yes. But cheers, sir.
Cheers.
And this is whiskey that you gave to me. So I appreciate
I'm
that.
not drinking anything tonight.
There's some water in there now because
There's
there
some
was
water.
ice. Cheers. Dave's going to need it.
Oh, please don't tell me that.
Yeah. These
'Cause
are just
we're
opinions.
married.
Once again, we stated to
Remember.
this. We're just reading this. These are our opinions. At no point, I think both companies are in trouble.
Yep.
And reading news as we have, I can see why.
And there is the location of the lawsuit.
Yes. And I'll try to put it in the description as well if you're listening to this after the fact, because I know a lot of people don't get to see the live chat after the fact.
They can if they just choose live comments.
That's a whole nother animal that we don't want to
I'm
tackle
just
tonight.
saying. Just saying.
So where you were over here, so the $1,000 per top, go back up.
I'm not sharing it.
I know,
anymore.
but the $1,000 a top was later determined to cost
$3,000 to fabricate.
Yes,
No,
in the United States.
No. It says represented that he could supply the hard tops for $1,000 per unit. Was fully aware at the time that he made this representation that it was false. Is what is said in the lawsuit. Plaintiff later determined that it would cost $3,000 to fabricate a hard top in the United States and would cost even more if plaintiff sourced the hard tops through China.
Yes. So it's not hearsay. So we're going to bring it up. It's not just us running our mouths. This is what the lawsuit says.
Right here. So there's a lot of allegations, like was mentioned in the comment section.
I do like
allegations made.
The $10,000 or 10,000 hard tops just ready to be purchased. There's not 10,000 people looking for Bronco hard tops. I hate to be the bearer of bad news on that one. Once again, I've seen mom and pops make hard tops. They sell maybe a couple a year. And then I'm talking with Jeep as well.
Well, it's saying wholesale buyers. So it's saying a wholesaler wants to buy these hard tops.
But I that's scare tactic is what that sounds like to me, going, hey, if you don't do this.
No. That's not. I don't read that as that. I read that as, hey, we're going to make a lot of money because we're going to sell 10,000 hard tops to wholesaler.
On E. Falsely represented that he had a Ford Bronco hardtop wholesale buyers who were prepared to purchase 10,000 hardtops.
Which to me means that he was saying that.
Read the rest. I
did. Of course, refused to disclose the names of the wholesale buyers because they did not exist. Correct. My interpretation of that that paragraph right there is that he was saying, hey, we're going to make a lot of money because I've got wholesalers that are willing to buy 10,000 of these tops too.
See, the way I read that is it's a scare tactic for going, hey, I've got 10,000 of these ready to be sold to somebody else if you don't jump in. That's how I'm
seeing. This is why you have two of us on.
Of course, 100%. Once again, I'm the dumbest person probably in the room here. So night, Eric. Sorry we haven't got to say hi to everybody either. I knew this was going to be, I always get in these videos. When you get to the point, when you're going to talk about, you're like, Jesus Christ, man, the first 15 minutes easily is always us BSing, hanging out with Allie. And by the way, Allie's not here tonight because she's moving metal and she's getting ready for
Dream Cruise.
Yep. So, and she's doing some stuff maybe with Bronco Nation, something like that. Maybe I remember there was something she was doing.
All the things. So anyway, so there's a lot. I mean, we could sit here and read the entire thing and go over line by line by line, but those are the high level things that I kind of pulled out of it, looking at it. But I mean, when you initially, again, I don't know that there's receipts for the 300,000 conversation because it actually says it was at a restaurant in California.
Right. So it was the talking.
It was a conversation. Yeah. So,
I'm sure they did record that conversation.
They say there's three sides to every story. There's the one side, the second side, and then there's the truth. So unless you have it on video, you don't really necessarily have receipts unless it's put in paper. John's
video that he dropped from ADV, he looked like a beat dog. He did not look.
So funny thing about that, a lot of people were actually talking about that video and saying, you guys know this is AI, right? Y'all know this guy. This is AI.
Why
He's
would
not
that-
actually sitting here doing this, right?
Yeah, he's on an island somewhere enjoying $8 million or whatever it is.
Right. He didn't have the 8 million. He gave $4.4 million
Yeah.
to APG
Right.
or APG. So
So, you know, and that's part of the problem. If you've given, say, half of the money away already for manufacturing, if that's what happened.
yeah, like Stephen R said, you know, a forensic accountant could figure out where that money went.
Yeah.
Real quick.
And
I'm sure they'll be involved.
At $8 million plus, you're damn right. If I'm ADV and they're accusing the other company of misdoing, their lawyer is going to go find somebody that can find that money.
Yep.
100%. You don't, this is what lawyers dream about, these kind of cases of this type of fraud. So either way, I don't see anybody getting any hard tops for quite a while. Do you think that somebody eventually makes these things, or what do you think eventually
I don't
happens?
think an American company is going to make these things.
So you like me, you think eventually down the road there's some Chinese company with some American sounding name starts pumping out. Do they pop up on Wish? I mean, is that how people buy these tops?
Temu.
Oh, Temu. Do they pop up on Temu?
Temu, sir. Temu. Well, that is not what I was going for. But just I don't know how to make it bigger.
You can't.
Really?
Yeah, because somebody screen captured that. She's trying to find the.
And I can't zoom in either. Dang it.
Sorry, Kelly's trying to show the video of, I believe his name's John.
I'm gonna go back. Just chill.
Doing it.
Just chill. You keep talking.
Hi, that's what I'm good at. I just keep talking.
Know, you just keep talking.
Yes, Ragnacon, and Kelly's trying to get it here where we can share it. All right.
I think that's as far.
This is at a concentration camp somewhere on the island.
Stop it.
That Kelly's about to share, and we had this video the day we recorded that, but I didn't think we read the statement. It's the same thing that is out there, but this is just his statement. So we got it right there.
I'm not going to share yet. Give me a second.
All right. Kelly's.
That's just going to have to be.
I know.
Okay.
So sorry
I can't
so
make
small.
this bigger, but I should be sharing audio. Yes.
Hopefully, let us know if you can't hear this.
Poor guy. His face looks so bad right there.
I know.
Fiberglass Concepts, and today we are going to give you an update on your Bronco hardtop order. Unfortunately, it is not a positive one. Advanced Fiberglass Concepts was a victim of a business manufacturing operation led by APG, known as Automotive Performance Group in Garden Grove, California. They were in charge of spearheading the manufacturing process overseas, while we were in charge of the sales and marketing of the product. They misrepresented their ability to get the job done and now warrants legal action. We've done everything in our power to work things out with APG and get these hardtops in your hands because our customer satisfaction is very important to us. Because of these actions, we will be unable to fulfill hardtop orders, and today we will be removing the listing from our website. I know you probably have a ton of questions, and I'll do my best to explain as much as I possibly can. APG approached us at the end of 2021 to team up together and manufacture this Bronco hardtop. APG falsely led us to believe that they were well connected on the manufacturing front overseas. It's clear now that APG was using misleading business practices, feeding us incorrect lead times time after time again, broken promises, and continuously requested more money from us. We realized, admittedly too late, that the person we were dealing with was not honest. It's important that you know your funds were used solely for the creation and production of the Bronco hardtops. We were unaware of the blatant lies that we were being told that the project was still completely on track. We trusted the wrong person, and we take responsibility for that. We never take your business for granted, and I genuinely mean that. We have tried every option and avenue to try and bring this manufacturing in-house at our ADV facilities. However, right now, there is no option for us to bring the manufacturing in-house, mainly due to the fact that APG filed a patent behind our backs, without our business name included, that patents the slant back and bolt together design. So we do not have an option to build this in-house. We are very sorry and extremely disappointed to be even making this video right now. Trust me, it sucks. All the other videos were happy, delightful, exciting, and this is far from that. Please know that each and every one of you are family to us. I take our customer service very seriously, and this situation is something we are not taking lightly. We are taking legal action against the individual and company that wronged each and every one of us. We wish circumstances were different. We wish we were just shipping your hardtops. Trust me. Now, I know the biggest question on your mind is how you are being impacted financially. Unfortunately, Advanced Fiberglass Concepts is unable to offer refunds at this time. You may want to try to contact your credit card company directly. In the meantime, if you have any questions at all, please contact us directly at hardtopsupport@advfiberglass.com. I'm sorry and devastated for the circumstances. We are pursuing justice against the individual and company that wronged each and every one of us. I appreciate you watching this video. I know it's not ideal, and I appreciate each and every one of you standing by our side during these difficult and unforeseeable times.
Well,
hey, everyone.
There you go. He's reading that.
Just keep in mind. So one of two things is happening here. He's just so burned that he doesn't even know how to be emotional about it, or he's an engineering type and are not very emotional in general.
So watching some of his videos, he's definitely not full of personality.
Okay.
And I think anybody that's
both.
watched any of his videos, I mean, he's always been good on camera. Don't get me wrong, but I would say he's a little dry. He's definitely engineer type. But one thing I do have to bring up that's very much against these guys, and I've seen the comments about this. If they knew whenever they started filing this lawsuit, was it July, June, somewhere in there? It doesn't matter, but it's been a while, and they okay, so March 24th, we'll say, again, falsely, we're not going to bring it up, but we'll say March, they knew that this ship is sinking, right? I mean, because it's pretty clear the guy keeps asking for more and more money. Anyways, I remember seeing a couple weeks ago ads on Facebook, Instagram for their hardtop. Now, I don't know if you're trying to buy your way out of this issue of trying to start refunding and in good faith, maybe going, okay, because he said we were trying to manufacture the top here. Now they can't, because they can't sell that top that they wanted to sell. So there's definitely some there's ADV's questionable on that. I will say that what in the hell were they doing continually taking money for a product that by now they know they couldn't fulfill?
Well, then we kind of talked about this too, because I'm guessing we were going to check dates, but we didn't end up checking dates as to when we had actually pulled out our order. But in March of 24 is when kind of some of this was going down that Dave was mentioning. And so it'd be interesting to know when we decided to pull, as to if we got out just in time which right. Based on these dates, it kind of looks like we did and we got lucky.
Yeah.
And it just,
and whoever that started getting refunds December on, sounds like they were pretty lucky to do that. I do feel like they thought they could buy their way out of this a little bit with customers and not with ill intent, but I think they were like, okay, we'll just keep collecting money. Because it sounded like he wanted to start building the tops on their own. So they thought, okay, we'll just build the damn tops ourselves. And then you find out maybe there's a patent,
right?
Whatever. We're getting so deep into this BS now that it's hard to keep up with it, but there is both sides. You guys clearly, once again, thank you, Steve P, for the 5959. You guys know I like weird numbers when you do super chats, so I greatly appreciate that. And if you would like to support the legal fund, clearly that everybody thinks we need, we have a Patreon, All Terrain Nation, or we have membership here on the channel that we would greatly appreciate your support.
Okay, we're done, Stephen R.
YouTube money is not very good right now, so we'll leave it at that. Bryce keeps asking. I have to answer this right away. Bryce keeps asking. No, there is no V8 Bronco coming at all. At all. I wish there was. I know they had some testers floating around, but I think we're going to lose the 2.7, to be honest. So I don't know why they would want to add another engine option to. Hi, Cat.
We're about to have a visitor.
why they would want to add another engine option to that. And I mean, whatever politics, whoever wins, one side's going to be harder on emissions than the other. And these manufacturers don't build vehicles 4 years at a time. There's the cat's ear. So yeah, Kitty Cat wants to get involved in this thing. So Kelly, for one, we need to go start at the top. I know this, man. Let's just do away with that right there. I will say, it was nice to see. I use a lot of Ford Authorities articles. I always talk about it, and it was nice to see that Ford Authority referenced us and did it in a very nice way too. What does that say there, Kelly? Well,
I don't know. Where
right
are
here,
you?
Right here.
Despite this, I guess.
Yeah.
Despite this, the YouTube channel All Terrain Nation recently posted a video outlining the host's own experience with trying to purchase an ADV hardtop, and it's rather shocking indeed. After dropping $7,000 on a top and waiting a couple of months, they began to get a bit skeptical and were able to receive a refund, although that doesn't seem to be the case with other customers, as they've received a statement from ADV that effectively places the blame on another company.
And they linked our video to it, which was very nice. And I always, I don't know those guys at all, but I always try to link their videos or their articles when so they repaid the favor. So thank you, Ford Authority.
So lots of folks in here that we didn't get a chance to say hello to. So we'll get there in a second.
Sorry, look at that. I might need a lawyer. Look at the violence. The violence here. She's got the
Andy, it might be coming.
Hand.
Andy, it might be coming.
Document that, everybody. Record this. That's the pimp hand.
Yeah, that's the stop hand. Do you want the pimp hand?
Maybe later.
Oh my gosh. TMI. Anyway, Matt Esham says everybody is getting roasted on 6G. I don't know what that's about.
I'm sure we are.
Sup ATM fam, says Eric Jefferson. Steve P, which I know came in and stuck around a while and had to go.
He dropped us a nice super chat. We appreciate that.
Let's see. Donald Rush, been away for a while, but back tonight. Let's have a good evening.
We're getting to your comments, by the way. We just got to say hi to a few people. Jack Evans in the house.
Rob Homruck, hello this evening. I know we talked about the spreadsheets. Jack Evans. Let's see. Donald Rash checking in. Michael Cooper.
Mark King.
Anna Smith says we're paying $1 per like.
No.
We would love to get paid $1 per like. That would be nice, but that doesn't happen.
We would be out of business.
If we paid people per likes, yeah.
Yes.
Rob Hummark says went to this off-road park an hour north of LR. I don't know. They said that there was that we were the first Bronco they had seen at the park since it opened. Interesting. Bob Masters in the house, Douglas Blair, Gia Hogue, Jonathan Folds, Henry Stoyer, and
Yo back, Henry.
Douglas Blair. I think I said hello. Unbridled Bronco. Hey, Jess. Let's see.
Hey, girl.
Laura with Alcione Ford. I know she's packing, she said, for everything this weekend. Anthony Sparaccio.
We're missing Woodward.
I know it. Hi, Maya. I know we're late, but we say hello.
Laddie
Daddy. Laddie Daddy.
That always makes things like a rap. La-da-da-da. Like, what was that?
Yes.
Who was the rapper that you know what I'm talking about? He was the Jamaican or whatever guy. Anyways.
Just be done.
Milton Hughes, will be interesting to see.
I was talking.
I don't think they're there in official capacity though. I know Lightbright is. I talked to Lightbright. They will be there but their Bronco is in a different booth.
Ragnar Khan says every time I do an archetype racing video, I do get nervous that a house of cards is going to collapse. Fine line between covering a product and seeing a company or being seen as supporting a company. Absolutely. I
think it's okay to support a company though if you believe in them. Like I don't think it's anything. I think if you're doing it for the right reasons, I mean, I think there's some Bronco channels out there that do it for the wrong reasons. Be whoever pets them, basically. We're not that company at all.
Justin Zimmerman in the house. Valley Dude 5000 checking in this evening. Scott Dunsmore. I want to make sure I get everybody, and if I do not get you, please do not think it's a personal attack. Deal me in for a 2024. So it sounds like APG is talking out of both sides of their mouths.
Kind of. I think both probably are
for sure. And Ragnar Khan shared the link to the Bronco Nation. So thank you for sharing that as well.
Our Hawaii connection. Ronald is in the house.
Bryce Gardner. Of course, we talked about the V8 a little bit ago.
We can just go to the bottom.
I'm just making sure.
There's Gene.
Yep, we said hello to. We explained to Gene.
Okay.
Of course, we've got Andy in the house, causing all sorts of trouble.
My backdoor man.
TMI, sir.
Not like that.
Ford Video Guy checking in this evening. Sorry we missed you, Tim.
I'm curious what Tim. I doubt Tim will talk about this topic because it's not really Ford related.
Right.
But I'd be curious Tim's opinion of that. Tim deals with big numbers.
Yep. Linda Suzio says, was here for Allie and the Wolf Dog. Was hoping she was waiting to come on.
Sadly, once again, Allie is doing some Woodward stuff. So we have a cat, if that helps. He's not as friendly as the Wolf Dog.
Yeah.
You want some whiskey?
No, he does not want that. He wants to sneeze in it.
Ugh, gross.
So this is a good segue. Linda says, anyone else going to Woodward? So I know that there's a few folks going to Woodward.
Mm-hmm. Should be a good time. Stephen,
we will not make it.
Stephen
up
R.
this
with
year.
the super chat you just passed.
I'll come back to it in a second.
This is the part of the show where we kill the audience.
Will you give me a second? Stephen R., thank you for the super chat, sir. We very, very much appreciate it. Although the things that you were saying, we might need that money. So hopefully we don't for legal purposes.
Please.
So Wrecked 40 Performance says you're better off swapping in a 7.3 10R80 swap.
Going all Godzilla on us, man.
2 are being done now. Lauren is working on one and Lone Star has the other SAS swapped monster.
I'm just not into. I used to, as a kid, would have been like, I talked about putting LS swapping our Xterra we used to have. I used to talk about that, but in the day, the older I get, the less I want to deal with all the little issues that come up with that kind of stuff.
Linda asked if anyone else is doing Outpost. I know I think Laura is doing Outpost. I'm trying to think who else said that they might be doing Outpost during Woodward weekend.
No idea.
People might
paid
chime in a little bit on
unfortunately, I haven't paid much, knowing that we couldn't go there to cover it. We talked to Ford a couple weeks ago, and they were like, nothing. There's going to be some new colors. I think we're going to see stuff like that, but nothing crazy with the Bronco coming up.
And we live in Tennessee, so we were just up in Michigan. It'll be fine. We were just up in Michigan, and so for us to turn around and kind of go back up there.
Some Bronco designers.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. And some stuff we can't talk about, but it was really cool to get to hear why and how they did it.
Let's see. So Dave will be at Stampede on Friday, and I will not be there.
I've got my lawyer coming with me. I'm kidding. Of course.
Yeah. So I won't be there this weekend because I have to parent.
Yeah. Other than the fact that we had a top one order and got our money back, I just find this interesting that, and for unfortunately the wrong reasons, I guess. It's not interesting that people lost money, because that's the sad part. It's just interesting how you get to that point with two companies just get to this point that both seem to make things. So it's not like, once again, it's not like they were just some guy in his garage that decided, hey, I sell hard tops.
Yeah. Stephen R says, great job, and I bet this will get picked up and shared. Dave, you need to fly to China to get the background info.
Mr. Kitty, you want to go with me to China?
No, because then
don't say that. Don't say that.
He wouldn't make it back.
River or Brooks?
He wouldn't do well in the weather.
The wet markets?
Yeah, his allergies wouldn't do well.
This cat sheds like crazy, and she's sitting here petting him, and then
he deserves it.
I'm wearing the pussy.
He deserves the love.
Anyways, all right, let's go. Let's go.
Trying to tell us.
Anybody's got some good stuff.
Douglas Blair says Kelly needs a stress ball for Dave as dentures.
Rob's got a good question there. So Rob, I will be at that press conference. Kelly will as well, if I remember right.
We don't know anything.
So I'm interested in what changes they will make for Bronco Sport, but I don't Other than the video they dropped today, they dropped a video showing a little Sasquatch hand. You hear him grunting and writes, what is it, 26th, the 26th.
Okay.
I don't know anything. So
okay.
They dropped that video. I didn't. That's Ford.
Okay.
I mean, you can make a lot of assumptions.
I
there.
didn't know that anything came out today.
I know you didn't. That's
because
why
I've been actually doing my day job, sir.
Renamed Chairman Mal. Bryce says he'll go to China. On the company card though, I'm sure.
Yeah, what company card?
Kelly needs a stress ball. I know you read it.
Yes, I did. Linda says, sorry, new Bronco owner. Can't wait for my first Bronco Nation event. Hope to meet people there. You will definitely meet lots of people there.
Yes, get there.
Lots
so
of people.
The parking fills up quick. So if you're trying to park where Bronco Nation does, I will say it's right around 9th was 9 Mile, right? I know that's where Ford has their little T. I feel like they're parking in the same spot, which was kind of across 9 Mile.
It's
there.
a little further south. It's in that area.
But it fills up quick. I know we
Yes.
tried to go 2 years ago and couldn't get a spot.
But
I
if
know
you didn't have a spot, or if you don't have a spot,
Dwayne with Driven Wild Outdoors got a spot. But I didn't care to park there. I think at the time I just wanted to kind of video and cover the event. But excuse me, a lot of fun.
Goodness gracious.
I know, lots of fun. Allegedly, this is Steve Narcy.
Let's not go public with that.
Right. Hey, I offer no legal advice.
No, ours is purely just that.
Yes.
Is Laura going to sell that Ranger or Raptor Ranger? I don't know that she's going to sell it. I feel like she's going to keep it.
Laura wants to keep every
Again, that's an opinion.
Yes, every cool car that comes across her showroom floor. Laura's like, what do you
she's
guys
the
think?
worst person for that. Like, because she wants all the toys. She wants them all like little Matchbox cars.
She's having fun with a Mustang
Dark Horse
right now.
Yes, she is.
Her and her husband, he was talking about taking it out and having fun.
Yep.
Don't blame him. I miss my Mustang.
Yes.
I mean Kelly's Mustang.
Ooh, that's a good. Let's see where it is right now, real quick.
So we can still track the Mustang.
Well, you say that until we can't do it.
According so this weekend, we could still track the Mustang. So she's looking on the app. It popped up.
It needs an oil change soon.
It popped up, and it is now in not Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Oh, it's not in Birmingham anymore. Oh, it is in New Orleans.
New Orleans. Well, is that New Orleans?
Yes, it's just outside of New Orleans.
There you go. Well, Baton Rouge, yeah, in between Baton Rouge, kind of in New Orleans there. Lake what?
Let's see. It's near Lake Pontchartrain.
There you go.
So let me look up this address real quick. I bet it's Carvana.
Which is interesting. Why would they buy cars to ship them halfway across the country to sell?
Because they can buy them cheaper and sell them for more down there.
Maybe. Does Ford not ship Mustangs, heavily discounted Mustangs down south?
Well, ours was highly discounted, sir.
There you go. It is. Is that a dealership? Did they wholesale it? Nope.
Oh, it's probably on a truck.
Oh, it's on a truck.
It's on a truck waiting to get somewhere. Because it's on a truck.
Let's share this because Andy likes these kind of things.
Wait, let me make sure that's the right. Nope, that's not the right address.
I'm sorry, guys.
Well, it is.
See what? Night, Linda, by the way.
It says it is.
Well, it's what it is.
We'll just share it.
So, if Mustang Watch 2024, it is maybe right here. So
there's where it currently is.
So if you're listening, the odds
app.
of you listening and watching this show and knowing exactly where this are pretty slim. But if so, say hi to our Mustang for me. I do miss that quite a bit.
So last location was on a truck right there.
Yep. By Popeyes. How ironic. Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen in
Louisiana.
Hammond, Louisiana.
You're a mess.
I know. I am a mess. Guys, what do you think about this going on? It's a mess. We'll be keeping an eye on the story. I'm not going to cover it heavily because I'm not a lawyer, clearly, as some of the comments stated. But I do find it to be interesting. I hope everybody gets every single penny of their money back. I truly do. We were very lucky. We dodged a bullet on this one, but clearly 1,249 potentially we're not.
Andy, we don't know for sure it's on a truck. This is, again, it's speculation.
I did not.
There's
dox
no
a
picture
trucker.
of it to know that it's there.
So
We're just gonna
sensitive.
leave before we
I
get in
know, so
trouble.
sensitive
We're
tonight.
in so much trouble tonight. Gosh.
I know.
So Stephen R, have we considered a GT 500? Have we considered it? Sure. Is it ever going to be in our driveway? Nope.
Considered a lot of things. Lamborghinis.
Yeah, for sure.
A bigger house. Kids grown up. Us living in Texas or Utah. I've considered lots of things.
All the money we're paying out for softball right now.
Oh my God. Speaking of, yeah, we just bought a new softball glove because I'm a sucker for my daughter. I love my daughter to death.
Yes, he is.
And want her to, she made the high school team.
Mm-hmm.
We were a little worried that we heard rumors was there was another tryout. And we were like, damn it, with this tryout stuff. And then we talked to a coach today and he said everything was fine. She'll be on the team for the year. And so I got her a glove that kind of matches the school colors.
Yeah.
And it'll be here in 10 years. So she'll have to wait forever.
10 years. No, it'll be here in like 6 weeks.
Yeah, she'll have to wait forever. But
because it's a custom glove.
You know, when she gives it to her daughter to open new in the box, she'll appreciate that.
Well, we do appreciate it, Stephen R. Very much so. Just know it is very much appreciated. No matter what I say on how much trouble I'm causing.
Yeah, no, Stephen, you've been a good friend of the
we
channel,
very much appreciate it.
We know. Now buy her a cello. No, thank you. She's got enough. I have guitars everywhere in this house. Clearly, there's one back here or two. The last thing she needs is a different musical instrument, and
she won't use it.
I can slightly play the violin and don't want to get into cello. It's backwards to me. It's all backwards.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh.
Much like a mandolin. I love goofing with a mandolin. I can make little songs out of it and could probably play in a couple.
But you can't switch your
a song, but no, it screws with me. The reverse situation of that. But you guys, let us, I'm curious. You can always reach out to us, allterrainnationmedia@gmail.com, Instagram, Facebook. If you're ever curious about this situation, or you're, like, hey, what do you guys think we should do? I'll offer some advice, but that's it. It's just our opinions. If you are curious about this, we do know people in the industry, but not these people. Other than, once again, I had emails with John. He seemed pleasant in emails. What you can gauge from that. I don't think I ever talked to him on the phone. They were going to be on the show. So here's the cool thing was, for a year, I've been trying to get ADV on the show. And every time was like, we would love to do it. As soon as we know the tops are shipping, we're going to be on the show. Who am I to sell to? Like, I don't think he was bullshitting me of just like, well, just this guy. Because I was very skeptical at the time, and I told him so. As I told Bronkbuster and a few others, I did an interview with Bronkbuster at Supercell 3 years ago. I was upfront with him. I told him, I was like, I don't believe in your product. And he took me through the steps, showed me. We have his product still in my truck. He said, try these out. We did. Piece of metal sitting there, but been great. We do have some new upper control or tie rods though. So thanks to Bird Dog Off-Road.
Right.
So we got some Jody's parts.
Yeah.
And they'll be put on our Bronco very soon, so we can feel just a little more secure. But guess what? We will keep the factory tie rods with those Bronkbusters on there. And we break one, we got some backups.
Yep.
But we do, I value our brand of what we are. I have a lot of integrity, believe it or not. If you guys, I get passionate about stuff is because I get passionate about it because I believe in my poor thoughts sometimes, maybe. But products like White Knuckle Off-Road, who we've talked honest a lot about.
We have been dealing with them for years.
Yes. If I stand behind something, it's because I'm very sensitive. Over the almost 20 years of being in the off-road world, I've seen come and go manufacturers like this. And once I use their products, I want to stand behind their product. And I was hoping that be the case with Advance. I really was. I was hoping, because I really offline would tell Kelly, I was like, man, I just think this is the best. Because you had skepticism about, I don't want to put this fucking thing together. And neither did I.
100%.
But I was like, I really think the way they it's going to be manufactured, it's the best, especially if you want to put rooftop tents, stuff like that. I really think it was going to be the best way to go. Unfortunately, I don't think anybody's going to get to go. And hopefully Ford, when they update the Bronco, which has to be one of these days, maybe they update the tops as well. And I'm sure they got enough money if they want to buy that process. They could probably buy that process, because I do know they've other manufacturers have done cool things, and they're like brought it to Ford. Hey, we would like to sell this as a licensed product, and they're like, no, we just would like to buy that product.
Yeah.
So it would be cool to see some top options from Ford. We do know painted tops. They're doing white ones on the Heritage now. Raptor gets a painted black hardtop now. Hopefully, with the next refresh, they do painted, the color matching that we've been told from day one was coming. And then we don't have to bitch about hardtops ever again.
So Bryce, you can have a question for Allie, but she's not here. You may save it for next time, or
You can always reach out
message
to
her on
Allie.
Instagram.
Yeah, on Instagram. If you have a question. Would you shut up, Andy, about my moobs? I'm working out again. Leave me be.
We did a really good job at buying groceries this weekend.
COVID wasn't kind. I was down to 145 pounds.
We can't even talk about what I was
Right now I'm at 195. And
I'm not even going to give you that number.
Well, I'm not asking you. I'm outing myself. I'm doxing myself, as the kids would say. And
Andy.
And yes, I will get back to
we'll get back to fighting weights.
160 is where I'd like to be. But these are pecs that just got a little fat on top of them. we'll say that. Just
my God.
Just well, I can't keep touching those. I'll get flagged for something on YouTube.
Mine aren't.
That's a different show. That's something nation. I don't know. Guys, once again, leave us a comment below. Hopefully you've enjoyed this deep dive I feel like we've done tonight.
Yeah.
And if you have, once again, any questions, reach out to us. Be like, hey man, this came to light. Maybe you didn't see it. Let us know, man. I would gladly do another video on if APG. That's right. I can't keep up with the acronyms. If it comes to light that they were in the right, I would definitely say, hey, they were in the right. If ADV comes out somehow, they're in the right. I mean, we have this. I have no skin in this game now.
We only share with you with what is out there and available to us. And again, our opinions on those things that we have seen, and we read them to you.
Matt's
As you can see.
Matt's just here for the milkshakes. Well, clearly they bring the boys to the yard. Damn right.
All the boys.
So whether it be 2-wheel drive,
4-wheel drive,
I don't even know anymore. Do we drive something? Hard tops? I don't know what it is. This has been your All Terrain Nation. I'm your host, David Boyd.
I'm Kelly Boyd.
And we're out. Peace, everybody.
See ya.